Hello friends, welcome to NAANDHI. Recently we have celebrated World Environment Day on June 5th and World Oceans Day on June 8th, and now we're gonna celebrate Desertification and Drought Day, that is against desertification and against drought on June 17th. So what is this day? Let's discuss now. Every year, United Nations will announce certain theme and also declare certain logo on June 17th. So this year theme is Restoration, Land, Recovery. We build back better with healthy land. Sometimes competitive exams may also ask you questions regarding previous year current affairs. So it's better to know about 2020 theme and logo. This is a logo and theme is food, feed, fiber, sustainable production and consumption. So let's know something about the desertification definition. It does not refer to the expansion of existing deserts. Think this is a Thar desert, and if Thar desert is expanding day by day in area wise, then it cannot be termed as a desertification, friends. Then what is mean by desertification? Let's go with a small example. Think this is a dry land. Dry lands are called as mettabhumi in Telugu, where the availability of water is very low. So I am cultivating wheat here. As it is a dry land area, I have to use different irrigational methods. But what did I do? I used over usage of these irrigation methods, and I preferred hybrid seeds instead of organic seeds. And in order to improve the fertility of the soil, I'm using fertilizers, and the usage of fertilizers is also not in a proper way. I'm overusing it. So what happens after few years, after 10 years, think that the production of the wheat decreases because the fertility of the soil will degrade, and maybe after 50 years this land may not be completely useful for the cultivation of the wheat itself. So completely I have to leave this land forever. So such type of process is called as degradation of land. Artificially I'm making a cultivated land into uncultivated. That is degradation of land in arid, semi-arid and dry subhumid areas can be termed as desertification. So then what is mean by drought, friends? Continuously, if there is low water supply in an area, then can be called as a drought. Low water supply where? Because of low precipitation, that is low rainfall, or maybe the surface water, that is the rivers and tanks may dried up, and even the groundwater table may decrease day by day. Then such lands can be called as a drought affected lands. And according to United Nations Environment Program, dry lands, look to here, you can understand what is meant by dry land. If the aridity index of a land is less than 6.65, then it can be termed as a dry land. You can also classify these dry lands. Humid means wet. Dry subhumid lands, it means dry only but it is partially wet. Yes, are you understanding? Then semi-arid lands means partially it is dry. Arid land is dry land, and hyper-arid lands is completely very high. The intensity of dryness is very high in hyper-arid lands. Why only on June 17th we celebrate this day? Because on this day a draft was made on United Nations Convention to combat desertification. So United Nations General Assembly decided on January 30, 1995 to celebrate June 17th as World's Desertification and Drought Day. Not only this, friends, even you have a decade for this desert and desertification, that is 2001 to 2020. Yes, recently it completed. And what was the purpose of it? All the degraded lands have to be converted into healthy lands. So what are the advantages for this? Not only the economy of the country and the world will increase, but also it creates more jobs and solve the problem of unemployment to most of the students. And even it ensures proper income for the farmers and people who are depending on the allied sectors of agriculture. Not only this, even food security, the most important problem, will be ensured. Even the biodiversity conservation process will take place. The rate of climate change will become much slower when compared to now. So these are certain advantages if we properly follow these mechanisms prescribed by the United Nations General Assembly. So over 100 countries decided that almost 1 billion hectares of land will become healthy land in the next 10 years. So almost the size of China. So why we are giving much more prominent to dry lands? Because almost 1/3 of the world's land area is under dry land, friends. And not only this, the people who are depending on these dry land areas are extremely vulnerable to climate change, and they were already exploiting the resources which were existing, and there was inappropriate land usage policies on these land areas. With this, what happens? The poverty increases much more, and whenever the people are not satisfied, they may revolt against the existing political power and create political instability. And not only this, on the name of development and in order to improve the number of industries, the deforestation processes are continuing. That is, afforestation is growing on, and depending on the animals, that is, the overgrazing phenomenon is taking place. And even in order to increase the production, all types of bad irrigation practices were going on. So with all these, even these dry lands became much more vulnerable than now. So we have to stop all these by acting from today itself. And not only a decade, not only a day, but also a year was also dedicated, friends, for this deserts and desertification. That the 2006 was declared as International Year of Deserts and Desertification by United General Assembly. Let us learn certain facts regarding this desertification and drought phenomenon, friends. Already, I think you know there are 17 sustainable development goals. In that, one goal, that is 15th goal, is life on land. Under this, whoever signed this agreement have to halt and reverse this land degradation process. And even except Antarctica, that is remaining all continents, are experiencing huge desertification. So it is the need of the day that we have to halt this desertification process. And every year 75 billion tons of fertile soil is lost. It means the degradation of land is increasing day by day and year by year. It's very huge, friends. And under European Union World Desertification Atlas, almost 75% of land is already degraded. So by 2030, it may become 90%. So if we will not react from today, then this may completely overcome through the world, and it create huge chaos among the common people, and poverty will increase and food security cannot be ensured. Many people will die because of shortage of food supply, or all these phenomena may take place. So this was according to a European Union World Desertification Atlas. And in the last 10 years, after huge efforts of many countries, only 30 lakh hectares of forest area has increased. So, but by 2030, we have to increase almost 2.6 crore hectares of land health. So how it is possible, friends? From the last 10 years, we have made only 30 lakh hectares of land covered under forest area, but now it is 2021. So within next 9 years you have to cover 2.6 crore hectares of land. So how can it be possible? Then how much fast or how much efficient every government should do, and even every people have to give their share. And almost, I told you that 1/3 of the land area is dry land in the world. So How many people are living on this dry land area? Almost 270 crore people are living in this dry land area. They may result into low welfare and development activities. And I already told you that even the climate change impact will be much more on these people itself. There will be a lot of different diseases like COVID-19. So it's a best option. Even now you have to react. So what were the certain important things you have to use? You have to improve the fertility of the soil through organic methods, not by chemical fertilizers. And wildlife alteration should be stopped. Nowadays wildlife are in a very problematic way. They are entering into the cities, entering into the villages, because actually we are entering into those areas, and there is a food security problem, employment problem, greenery problem. All these problems have to be solved. And coming to next year, 2021 to 2030 was declared as UN Decade of Ecosystem. This will may discuss in further videos.